Hello and welcome back to Handpanuary. Remember that if you want any of the notation for these exercises, they are available on my Patreon. Thank you to those of you who've been supporting me on there so far. I really appreciate it. Today we're looking at a nice little technique that's just going to bring a little bit more pizzazz to your fills, make them sound a bit more intricate and interesting. It shows a really good level of control and adds a bit of style to what you're playing. And I use them a lot. And they're kind of little flam type things. So a flam is when you play one note, one beat, but you bring each hand or each finger down one slightly after the other. Not enough to be two separate strikes, but enough to kind of just give that strike a bit more crunch and grit. This is used a lot in snare drum playing, but what I like about it in handpan playing is that you can split that between two notes to make it sound really nice. So we're just going to practice bringing the dominant hand down first and the non-dominant hand down slightly after. And you want to get that, oops, it wants to feel like one, right? I invite you to practice bringing the left hand down, the non-dominant hand down and the dominant hand down afterwards. I find this one a bit more tricky, I don't do it very often. And I invite you to practice this for longer than you think you need to. I know it's a little bit boring just playing this over and over, but I promise you it's worth it. So once you've got that control between both of those hands, then you're just going to continue to swap and change between right hand coming down first and then left hand coming down first. And you can see that when I'm doing this, the hand that comes down second is a little bit higher than the hand that comes down first, for obvious probably reasons. The higher it is, the longer it takes to come down. So it's kind of by positioning your hands correctly, it takes all of the effort and work and kind of mathematics time away from your brain, and you can just let physics do what it does best. It also means that the higher the hand as well, the louder it's going to strike. So it's almost like you've got a ka-doom, 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 which is a really nice stylized way to play. Nice. Then I invite you to practice this between two notes. Preferably two that maybe are a little bit apart from each other so that they don't clash, and across separate sides of the instrument. Doesn't matter if it doesn't sound melodic for now, you're just experimenting with different shapes. Now, if you wanted to be able to play one note after the other that would normally clash, then what you can do is add a bit more control to that first hand, so it's very quiet, and then accent the second strike, so that rather than sounding like a clashing note, it sounds like a lead in. Ba-dum, ba-dum, da-da, ba-dum. Sounds like you're moving and traveling in that direction. That is the part that makes your playing sound more professional. That's the part that gives it style, is having these little grace notes, these little moments into where you're going. It's movement that makes your melodies and your fills sound good, basically. So if you add this in, that's what's going to give it more intrigue. that many times within what I'm playing. But I encourage you to just practice that and make that the center of your improvs and your compositions for a little while you start to get to know how it works. I use these all the time. If you look at some of my other videos of just me playing, you'll notice that they're there in pretty much everything. And I think they work. They're pretty easy to pick up, but they make it sound way more complex than it actually is. And that is the key, is finding little tricks that sound complicated but aren't. That's what makes you sound good and look like you know what you're doing. And that is how I've gotten by my entire life. So I hope you enjoy that, and I will see you tomorrow for the final official Handpan video. But we will have some bonuses at the weekend as well, a couple of little extra videos to round the month off. So yeah, see you then.